For nearly 2 decades, India was told one thing, that the United States would be the anchor of a free and open Indo-Pacific, that Washington would stand with its partners, that together they could and would balance China's rise. But today that assumption is under strain. America's recent trade disputes with India, tariff threats and increasingly transactional diplomacy have raised uncomfortable questions in New Delhi. And just as those questions grow louder, another Asian power is stepping forward: Japan. As Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi lands in Delhi for the annual summit with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the visit is about far more than trade or investment. It is about trust, it is about reliability, and it is about whether Japan, not America, is quietly becoming India's most dependable strategic partner in Asia, and the key counterweight to China that India needs amid Beijing's growing influence in its backyard. Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's visit comes at an important geopolitical moment. She will hold summit-level talks with Prime Minister Modi during her 3-day visit. The two leaders will review cooperation in defense, technology, artificial intelligence, critical minerals, energy resilience, and supply chains. Dozens of government agreements are expected. The two sides are also likely to discuss plans for a local currency settlement framework that will allow direct yen-rupee transactions for trade between both countries. A yen-rupee mechanism means the two countries can do business without routing it through the US dollar. In the current climate, that is not just economics. It is a statement of strategic independence. The two sides are also set to announce a joint declaration on economic safety cooperation and a joint statement on cooperation in the field of AI, according to diplomatic sources. Now let us get to why this visit carries the weight it does. China is the elephant in every room between Tokyo and New Delhi, and Beijing has not been subtle about it. Over the weekend of June 27-28, a combined convoy of roughly 15 Chinese and Russian bombers and fighter jets conducted joint strategic air patrols over the Sea of Japan, the East China Sea and the Western Pacific. The incident forced both Japan and South Korea to scramble fighter jets. Then just one day before Takaichi's arrival in India, Beijing blacklisted an additional 20 Japanese defense and technology firms from accessing critical Chinese raw materials. This follows an earlier enforcement action in February 2026 that targeted companies like Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, Subaru and Hino Motors. Japan is being squeezed, and it knows it cannot face the squeeze alone. Cut off from easy access to the Chinese market and facing severe scrutiny on dual-use technologies, Japan is accelerating its China Plus One strategy and needs a massive, stable partner to secure alternative supply chains, decouple from Chinese rare earths, and balance Beijing's military assertiveness. India fits the bill perfectly. India and Japan share concerns over China's growing military assertiveness in the Indo-Pacific. Maritime security, military exercises, and defense technology cooperation are expected to feature prominently when the two prime ministers meet. The summit is also expected to deepen strategic cooperation by linking Japan's free and open Indo-Pacific vision with India's Mahasagar initiative, with discussions covering maritime security, defense technology collaboration, and the development of an industrial value chain connecting the Bay of Bengal region with northeastern India. MOUs are likely in areas of artificial intelligence, pharmaceuticals, batteries, and critical minerals. These are precisely the sectors where China has weaponized its dominance. Japan and India are building the architecture to reduce that dependence altogether. With an uncertain future of the Quad alliance, Japan and India are left to secure their own maritime backyards. That's why Japan is strategically important for India. The strategic equation has also changed because of Washington. Recent months have seen tariff disputes, disagreements over Russian oil purchases, and public friction between India and the United States. Many in India have begun asking a difficult question: can America still be counted on as a predictable strategic partner? The tariff war and disagreements over Russian oil purchase have exposed Trump's increasing transactional diplomacy, which has caused uncertainty among other nations. So while Washington wants to downplay the tweaking of the Indo-Pacific Command, the hint is that the US may have made a strategic withdrawal from the plan to keep China under pressure with the help of the other Quad allies. This is as important to Japan as it is to India. Japan approaches India differently than other global powers. It does not expect India to become a treaty ally. It does not ask India to choose between competing blocs. It accepts India's strategic autonomy. India remains the single largest recipient of Japanese official development assistance. Tokyo has used ultra-concessional loans through the Japan International Cooperation Agency to fund transformative infrastructure across India, including the Delhi Metro and industrial corridors linking South and Southeast Asia. The Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train is the most visible symbol of this relationship. A Japanese firm is financing roughly 80% of the estimated cost of the project at an ultra-low interest rate of 0.1%, with repayment over 50 years. That's not a trade deal, that's a decades-long bet on India's future. During PM Modi's visit to Japan last August, the two countries set a target of attracting 10 trillion yen, around $68 billion in private Japanese investment into India over the next 10 years. They also finalized a 10-year roadmap to expand cooperation in technology, digitalization, and rare earth minerals. Diplomatic sources in Tokyo have described India as an indispensable partner in advancing Japan's free and open Indo-Pacific vision and have said it is important that the duo jointly promote a free and open international order based on the rule of law. America may return to the Indo-Pacific. It may rebuild the trust it has spent in the last 2 years burning down. But while Washington was distracted, Tokyo kept building. That's what Sanae Takaichi's visit to New Delhi makes plain. The rhetoric of partnership is everywhere. The reality of it is rarer.
If they had a nuclear weapon,
The old rules are breaking. Alliances are shifting.
Apologize again to the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Wars are redrawing maps. Oil routes can shake economies overnight. One election in America can impact markets in Mumbai.
no tax on tips.
One move by China can alter the balance in Asia. One conflict in West Asia can hit every Indian household. This is no longer a distant story. This is our story. Your story. Because for the first time in decades, India is not watching from the sidelines. India is rising. India is negotiating. India is balancing rivals. India is building military strength. India is shaping trade routes. India is becoming central to the new global order. And yet, most global news is still told through someone else's lens. Washington's lens, Beijing's lens, London's lens. But where is India's lens? Where is the platform that explains the world from our perspective? Welcome to India's Axis, a new destination for geopolitics, strategy and power seen through India's eyes. From Neighborhood Watch to the biggest global stories that matter to you. Why tensions in the Taiwan Strait matter to India. How one move by China can affect India's security. What turmoil in Pakistan means for regional stability. How Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan shape India's neighborhood. Why oil choke points can hit your wallet. How wars abroad can reshape India's security. This is not noise. This is not shouting. This is not recycled headlines. This is sharp, intelligent storytelling. Daily explainers, war room analysis, strategic conversations. Because news is everywhere, but perspective is rare, and in the age of confusion, clarity is power. Axis is for the audience that wants more than headlines. The axis of global power is shifting. India is at the center of that shift. It's time the world was explained accordingly. To understand the world through India's strategic lens. Subscribe now.